Tabletop Spotlight, brought to you by Dragon's Lair Comics and Fantasy. Hey everyone, I'm AdamHarry from Battletome Souls with
Michael from Dragon's Lair Comics and Fantasy.
And we're back with another Tabletop Spotlight. Michael, you brought the new Battletome, huh?
Yeah, the new Sylvaneth Battletome, brand new army from Games Workshop. The spirits of the trees and stuff like that from the sort of the wood elves, I would say.
But, right. Yeah. This is that faction.
That sort of offshoot of the more wild sort of
right.
aspect of it.
Pretty stoked about this one. This is actually a hardback now.
Yeah,
this is kind of the new style they're going for, right?
Yeah, it's their new sort of version of Battletomes.
Okay.
A lot of info in here, a lot of pictures, painting guides, all sorts of stuff.
Yeah, we know the General's Handbook is coming out around the same time, but this book actually has some of the stuff you would find in the General's Handbook. So probably going to see some new Battletome or some new Warscrolls, battle plans,
a lot of
missions,
artifacts and stuff like that.
Artifacts, the command abilities are also in here. So a lot of good stuff in this book. So let's go install and take a look inside. All right, man, we've got the order Battletome for Sylvaneth right here.
Sylvaneth,
like they're a middle band.
A lot of pronunciations going on with all sorts of armies nowadays. But
why can't they just make them wood elves?
Exactly.
Because they can't copyright that. Moving on.
All right.
Let's flip it over real quick.
Nice fancy cover, of course. Yep. Flip that over.
Back
you can see
here.
all sorts of different stuff. A little breakdown of the army and all the models, which
very cool.
Alario, of course, poking out right there. So now is the season of war, they say.
It's true.
Let the reaping begin.
The reaping. Season of War Part 1.
By that we mean let's pop it open. So let's just get a look inside here. You got your table of contents, of course. And this is an awesome book because it has just so much breakdown of so much different stuff. You have all sorts of different lore stuff, fluff about battle plans, paint guides, battalions, all kinds of stuff.
Yes, and I'm pretty excited. This one actually has obviously all the Warscrolls. We're also going to see all the extra battalions.
Oh yeah.
And then on top of that, it's also got the what are they called? The artifacts and
the artifacts and the special items and stuff for taking just Sylvaneth. So
very cool.
As you can see, of course, nice fancy full color.
We're gonna see a lot of these.
Oh yeah. This book is chock full of army shots, which is awesome. Yeah. So
showing off.
We just keep flipping through. There's some of that art we were speaking about earlier with Alario's beetle and stuff like that.
The beetle.
Yeah, a lot of awesome stuff. We'll just kind of...
We'll go through... This is all background and lore and stuff like that.
A lot of fluff and things like that.
Yeah, it kind of explains where she's been, what's been happening.
Yeah. Last time we saw her, she was hanging out... Last time I remember she was hanging out in the end times with Tyrion and all the other elves.
Yeah, she was a high elf.
Yeah.
And now she's not.
Now she's not anymore.
But here we go. Oh, check these out.
So here's some cool breakdown of basically how a Wargrove works. Kind of reminds me of the Battletome with Ironjaws, where it's like this is what a fist is. It has 5, of these guys, and within that, so they break it down basically how a Wargrove is split up among all the units.
There's a lot of stuff going on.
Oh yeah, a lot of different types of troops. You can see a Spirit of Durthu leads these free spirits here, so it's cool that they keep him around in that form.
He's an awesome character.
Oh yeah, he's got a great model. So
tons of stuff going on.
Some more.
So it looks like we have different glades. So these are the basically different factions.
Yeah, different clans kind of in a way. So different glade styles. Here's the paint guides.
If you're looking for painting options, here you go.
So they got all sorts of different ones, and they have a little flavor text about what a dryad would do with this color, what these tree remnants would do.
Okay. And these are the new outcast guys.
Yeah, the outcasts are sort of the almost like the dark elves of the Sylvaneth, like the dark ones who have left the larger group as I've read basically.
Awesome. But, and more, I look at that awesome artwork.
This is some of GW's best art for a little while, I think.
Oh yeah.
With them against looks like the Khorne Bloodbound almost.
Heck yeah.
So.
And then we just got more of the Willow Queen's Reapers.
A lot of different paint guides. This one's very, very green.
Shades of War. This one's kind of a darker.
One of my favorites is the Kurnoth Hunters, the new unit. If you equip them with their great bows, which we'll see in the back, they get a quiverling, basically.
Oh, cool.
A tiny little beetle creature with arrows. So I think that's really fun.
That's a nice touch, yeah.
And it's on the model, too, and you can check it out at the back. So
there's more paint stuff we just skipped over, too. But we have Alariel here, the Everqueen.
A lot of different stuff.
Noble Spirits.
Tree Lord breakdown, branch witches. All sorts of different info about different types of new units. A big fan of this one.
Wow, check it out.
Durthu going against looks like Chaos Warriors.
Yeah, just a blue
Chaos Warriors.
Probably Zinch.
Zinchy. Yeah, it looks very Zinchy.
Uh-oh. Fight your boys.
Got against my Ironjaws here.
Yep. Yeah. It's because they want the trees for the wood.
Yeah, of course.
So
of course.
It's not cool.
Yeah, a lot of great art, like we said in this book. So
very cool.
Big fan of this.
They're fighting some lizardmen here.
Yeah, that's actually, that's Drycha, the new sort of...
She shoots bees.
She does shoot bees. She's pretty cool. But she's sort of the new, like, almost like a lieutenant, kind of. Okay. Whereas, like, Larios the general, she's like the secondary hero.
Gotcha.
So she's pretty cool, too. There she is right there again with her beehives.
More cool stuff.
So, yeah, a lot of great army shots.
Army shots here, yeah. Oh, those are, you're talking about those little quiverlings.
Yeah, the little quiverlings on the Colonel Hunters are really great.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. So, yeah, a lot of awesome art. And there's some great shots of them against some other armies later on as well.
Yeah, just the fact that they're highlighting all these really cool models with different paint jobs, different ways to do that.
The glow effects are really nice as well, and all their little runes and stuff, and their heads and shoulders and things.
Heck yeah.
So you got
cool. I definitely want to run a Kurnoth Hunter army.
Oh yeah.
So I don't know if that's possible yet.
There's little quiverlings I was talking about there.
Cool.
They're pretty fun.
These guys are pretty cool looking too.
Yeah,
I wish there was more poses for them, like if they came out of the other side too. But yeah, I still like the models.
Oh yeah.
So. Not complaining.
I'm a big fan of the Branch Witch models.
Yeah.
Like, small hero, with the wizard powers, but has sort of a weird like centipede familiar kind of thing. That's really cool to me.
Yeah,
so
pretty creepy. I still like the Tree Lord Ancients, by the way. These are some of the coolest models they've done. Yeah. Those were a big hit when they first came out, and they look even better now. I think.
I have played against them. They are not fun
for you.
Not fun to play against. So again, more army shots here. Yep. And then you have...
so they're actually working with
Stormcast against Nurgle, so...
Yeah, because that's where they're kind of at the storyline right now. Nurgle's in the Garden of Life or whatever. And
this first arc, basically, of Sigmar has been kind of Nurgle... It seems like almost Nurgle and Khorne teaming up to fight Sigmar and the Forces of Order, so it's interesting to see how that develops.
Yeah, because, Tzeentch's got the Silver Tower stuff going on, and then Slaanesh has been AFK.
Gone.
Yeah. Missing. I think the elves have him.
Oh yeah.
The Aelifs have him.
There's been little hints here and there about Slaanesh's.
We'll see.
We'll see when more elves come out.
That's kind of a glare, but you can kind of see.
Yeah, you can see some awesome dudes.
Yeah. Very cool. So this is Time of War. This section, just different powers.
Yeah, some different rules. Basically for deciding different effects for your battle.
Okay.
So when you decide a realm a battle takes place in, like say you want to play in the realm of metal, you can put it at a site specifically that gives it certain powers. So just extra rules basically to make your battles a little more interesting.
You don't have to use them, but they're fun.
Absolutely.
For that
you
extra
can if you want,
story. Okay. For extra narrative.
You got great stuff. Yeah, some more little stories and things about them versus Nurgle, which of course Nurgle is like the sworn enemy of the
because he wants to give everything diseases.
Oh yeah,
they just want to grow happy trees.
Happy trees.
But you can tell this is the Great Stump. So Nurgle is corrupting or starting to corrupt that land, and they're fighting back.
That seems like it's what they're doing.
Yeah, that's gross looking, by the way. There's a lot of weird, gross details in here.
Oh yeah.
Very nerdly. Sacred Glade. So these are where you're talking about the specific places. These are now battle plans here.
Yeah, they have their battle plans specifically for Sylvaneth versus something. So here you can see Sylvaneth have this territory and they're attempting to possibly do some victory condition, but it's meant just for this sort of faction to go against their enemies.
Okay, and but these are all custom missions basically.
Pretty much.
And this is again if you want to play through the story.
Yeah, if you want to do the sort of narrative aspects of the game, like they say, sort of in the General's Handbook, this is where you want to go.
And this looks like Sylvaneth versus
looks like the Iron Jaws.
Yeah, Iron
Talking
Jaws.
about Gorgruntas and Mega Bosses and things.
That's your boys right there.
Yeah, they are right there.
Yep.
My favorites.
Yep.
I do love the Iron Jaws. But yeah, a lot of battle plans.
A lot of battle plans.
We'll
skip through this here.
We can flip through a couple things.
Yep. Fighting Khorne now. So that's a Lariel versus a Bloodthirster.
Looks like a Bloodthirster and
pretty
maybe
cool.
some Marauders and Warriors around here and things like that.
There's some big dudes.
Yeah.
Those new?
I don't know. Those might be some of the Bloodbound.
Oh yeah, it's from behind. Yeah, from the back. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, she's going up against that Bloodthirster. I have a feeling she will win.
Yeah, it's all the beetle.
It is indeed just.
And this is another
more battle plans, more different cool things, and then they break down basically the forces, the battalions, and their allegiance abilities.
Right.
Which is what we've all been sort of looking at with the General's Handbook, is the new sort of like powers you get for focusing on a faction.
So if you just take Sylvaneth, which are order.
An order subfaction.
Oh, order subfaction, yeah.
Yeah, you get certain bonuses for focusing just on order, or for focusing on a subfaction within order.
And you get specific command traits, artifact powers.
Yeah, there's different things you can choose to take or not take. Okay. So for example, if I were to take just Sylvaneth, I might get some of these battle traits where it says if I have the Sylvaneth Allegiance, I get these certain abilities if I want them.
Very cool.
Yeah.
So this is the first actual Battletome book we've seen with those rules in them.
Yeah, this has been sort of in the General's Handbook a little bit, and it'll be, I'm sure, in future, rules and battalion releases. But
cool. And these command traits, these are very similar to, if you play 40k, these are very similar to the Warlord traits that you can roll at the beginning of the game.
You can roll, or you can just choose if you and your opponent agree, of course.
Right. So just roll. Yeah. They're all d6 charts, or you can do, very cool stuff.
And then they have some interesting new stuff. It looks like they have some like spell lore, basically.
Okay.
Based on if you do play just the Sylvaneth army, it says here each wizard gets an additional spell.
Okay.
Which it's a little bit of glare there. You get an additional spell, and it gives you sort of an idea of what the extra spell does. So it's really good in a especially because magic is so strong in Sigmar.
Right, and you can only cast the same spell like once, right?
You can cast a spell once per turn, doesn't matter how many wizards you have. So if you have more spells, then that's all the better.
Right. Okay, that's a really good thing to know. If you want to run a wizard-heavy army, you want to have those extra.
You want to definitely get that extra stuff.
And we got some cool new artifacts here.
Yeah, you can have a hero take artifacts like we looked at in the General's Handbook.
Yep.
So this.
Briar Sheath was actually a thing from way back in the day, from old school fantasy.
Yeah, like the Seed of Rebirth, basically save Delario after the end times. After you lose your last wound, it heals D3, so it's kind of that resurrection mechanic almost.
Yeah, and then Oaken Armor is +1 to any save rolls, so that's pretty cool. That's for a hero.
Oh yeah. So that's for one hero in your army, you get an artifact. And again, you can roll or you can just choose whatever sort of fits best.
Yeah. Probably talk to your opponent first.
Yeah, absolutely.
But there's some very cool stuff in here.
Oh yeah.
Here's how the kind of organization of the army.
So basically, you have your different troops, your outcasts here, like we said, sort of the separate set of the Sylvaneth faction, and you build them into a war grove, basically, or a household.
But this, kind of how they're
different ideas of how to make an army.
Cool. And then these are all the different battalions. We're going to go through all the battalions. You can see here. There's quite a few.
Lot. Yeah.
So we'll just kind of flip through them real quick. You can see all the different options. If you have, for instance, if you wanted to run this battalion for the outcast, you just take 3 units of Spite Revenants.
Yeah, and you get this bonus. And of course, if you're playing a game with points, you would have to pay the extra points to get that bonus.
Right.
But usually battalions aren't more than 100 points at the worst.
Sure. So. And speaking of points too, there aren't any points in this book.
They don't have any points in here. The points for Sylvaneth are in the General's Handbook though.
Right. And they're all current. They're all up to date.
Yeah, they're all up to date. It's all the models in here.
But this book does have some of the things from the General's Handbook.
Yes.
Pretty cool.
And going forward, the idea, we think at least, is that they'll have the points in the Battletomes as well.
And these are all the different war groves that we saw earlier for all the different paint jobs.
Yeah, these are meant more as I think really big games. Yeah. Because you can tell you got a battalion here. You got you build battalions that make a war grove. So these are like the big apocalypse style games.
Right, which could be awesome.
Oh yeah.
So just a ton of stuff going on there. We'll flip through a little quicker.
Couple more battalions.
We get to the Warscrolls. We've seen these. These are all available online. If you want to get the Warscrolls, completely. You just go to the unit on GW's website.
Yep.
You can just click.
Download a PDF. You also have the Age of Sigmar app, of course, you can use.
And you just a ton of Warscrolls. Matter of fact, I can show you guys real quick.
Oh yeah.
I'm pulling my phone out real fast.
They do have tons of Warscrolls in here. What I also like is that they have sort of named and generic again for most units as well.
You can get them all for free here. You just go to the Warscrolls, you click the faction, and then you can actually go down to specifically Sylvaneth. And these are locked. Those are the battalions. You have to pay for those, or you can just go down here to where all those are. I can click the little cloud button to download them, and then they're on my phone.
It's an exact copy of what you see here in the book, so if you don't necessarily want the book and you still want to play Sylvaneth, you can still play Sylvaneth.
And that was free.
And that app is completely free.
That app is totally free.
Definitely a good thing to recommend because, I mean, it's so useful for if you're starting a new army. You're like, I don't know if I like how the synergies work, or
or you just want to research
different or what armies your opponent's playing maybe.
Yeah.
So
I mean, when I was up at the store watching you guys play the other day, your opponent had his book out, or he was using the phone, and you were using your book for Iron Jaws. So it was really cool because you got to see both like the hard the analog version and the digital version basically. That's a side story there, but it's pretty cool because these are all available for free. So
they break it down based off the different types of units. So when you buy a Revenants box, you can buy tree, you can make tree or spite Revenants, and of course they include both, which is awesome. And the current offenders, like you're looking at, have different weapon options. Your usual Warscroll stuff. So those are pretty awesome. And
of course, you're going to include the rules.
They of course as you might expect, they also have rules for the Wildwood. So if you buy Wildwood terrain, you get your special rules for it, which is really good
some of the battalions actually require that you take some.
It's really good for this army, especially Ilario. Ilario has a lot of synergy with Wildwood terrain.
Yeah.
And we can look at that, of course, if we need to, but they have all sorts of cool synergy with terrain.
Of course, the rules as well.
Yeah, your basic 4-page rules, and that is the Battletome Sylvaneth.
So that was the entire book. We pretty much flipped through the whole thing.
Pretty much.
So you should definitely go check it out. But let's hop out for a really quick recap. Well, that was the Battletome for the Sylvaneth, the new Wild Spirit Army coming out. So it's out right now.
Yeah.
Let's run some numbers on it real quick. This was Games Workshop, obviously, for Age of Sigmar.
Obviously, new Games Workshop book. It's going to be $49.50 plus tax, so around $50, which is sort of their average for these hardback books nowadays.
Yep, and I mean it's 144 pages, full color.
A lot of full color art. Very, very nice looking book.
I was pretty impressed with all the different paint schemes in there too.
Yeah, they really went hard on the paint scheme, which is cool. If you're looking for sort of a unique look for your faction, that's where you're going to find it.
Plus all the unique missions in there, all the unique artifacts, abilities, all that fun stuff. So definitely worth checking out if you're interested in playing Sylvaneth. Almost a must-buy, I would say. I would
argue it's almost there. There's a lot of good battle plans. So.
Oh, for sure. Well, this has been another Tabletop Spotlight. I'm AdamHarry from Bell Souls.
I'm Michael from Dragon's Lair Comics and Fantasy.
Thanks again for watching. Have a good one. Tabletop Spotlight brought to you by Dragon's Lair Comics and Fantasy. Thanks for watching.